That's not.
That's really
not about you, is it?
Smash it! Smash it now!
You're nearly at 40k.
So close.
400 people. Just hit subscribe. What are you going to do one day when you get to 100k? Because you were working so hard.
Why not?
Working so hard at Ball Street, weren't we? To get to 100k. Let's turn this around. Should we turn this around here? This is going to be annoying for you, isn't it? So just like that. Is that right?
I don't want to do it that way. Yeah. Oh yeah. It won't happen. So honestly.
Hello. Hiya.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the James and Flav for Now podcast. Lots to talk about. I've smashed up a little rundown here. Got a really exciting announcement at the end of the episode, so stick around for that.
The bit they can't see.
Well, but you really do want to stick around because it's a huge announcement. Huge.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
I know.
Where's the thing then?
What thing?
Where's the picture?
Oh, it was supposed to be delivered today, but it hasn't arrived yet.
What's the guy's name? Actually, don't give him mine anymore. Let's wait till we get the picture and then you'll get another shout out.
Well, that's it. We're going to stop getting pictures, aren't we, unless we do the shout out.
I can't do it.
Delivery is not down to kicking the balls. It's down to the delivery man and me not being in the flat.
Oh, so you got a card?
Filming Premier League. Yes, I got a card, so it'll be fine. I'll go get it. Basically, it is a wicked picture of... it's a signed Jose Mourinho.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is he...
They're making those, so... Go, click on the link for us, use the discount code, perfect Christmas present, use the code James and Flav loves porn, 10 for 10% off, and you will definitely see it, hopefully, next week. But it was supposed to come today. Top comments?
Yes.
The Chat Shack. I don't think I've ever watched anything and thought, these two love each other, the same as I do when I watch this podcast.
I do love you.
I know you do. Didn't not enough to know where my Premier League show is lives.
FIP.
Where does it live again? On the Premier League. What's it called? FP.
Did you come up with that name?
No, I didn't.
It's a good name.
Is it? Do you like the name? Yeah, okay. And where is it? Is it on the Premier League channel?
I thought that it was like they had their own fantasy league channel.
I was like, have we met? Anyway,
mate, I don't do fantasy football, right? And I don't really
do fantasy though.
What do you mean?
Just generally.
Oh yeah, I live a fantasy, don't I? I don't know what that means. So why would I... You don't listen to my podcast, so I'm not going to watch your podcast. I have
listened to your podcast.
And I have watched a bit of that show. So...
Okay. If you want to check out this week's, then go for it. Suggest RK, Jimbo and Gary with 2 R's, doing God's work. Do you feel like this is a religious experience?
Well, God doesn't exist.
Oh.
So probably not. And why has he spelled me with 2 R's and why has he called me Gary?
Because that's his name.
He doesn't know me.
Is that Gary spelled wrong?
Huh?
Is that Gary?
Yeah, that is wrong. And he doesn't know me.
Okay.
Why is he calling me Gary?
I don't know.
If I ever referred to myself as Gary ever?
No, you shy away from it.
Don't overstep the line.
My dad, also called Gary,
yes.
said, "Oh, I saw the bit with Flav, saying anyone who wants to be called Gary, if they say that they do, they're a liar."
Your dad lied.
He went,
yeah, exactly. I knew you'd back me up. Gary ain't a great name. Gary's a terrible name.
Well, great man.
My name isn't Gary, by the way. It's Gareth, if you must know. It's okay. Gareth. So if you're going to call me by my actual name, if you insist on being that weird guy who does call me by my name.
Do you know what's perfect? If you want to shorten down Gareth, Gary with 2 R's.
Did I tell you the story about my dad? My mum was like, I want to call him Gareth because my grandfather's Welsh. And I'm not one of these guys that, just because their grandfather's Welsh, they claim to be Welsh. And when they're watching the rugby, they support Wales. Never get that. No, so many English people that support Wales. Just because their granddad's Welsh.
Your granddad's a stretch.
Yes. Well, my granddad's Welsh.
I say that because
I absolutely do not support Wales, just for the record. But my mum wanted to call me Gareth, and my dad went, all right, we call him Gareth, as long as I can call him Gary. That's an actual fact. Those words came out of his mouth. I won't call him Gareth, but I will call him Gary.
Actually, he calls you Gal.
Gal. Oh, Gal.
Yeah. But doing God's work, apparently. That's good. Caden, Flav just looks so much happier. That's just after a couple of tough weeks with Spurs. Really difficult season. Mourinho walks through the door and you go, yeah.
Daddy's home. Daddy's home.
Scoring goals for fun.
Scoring goals for fun. And it's mad because I was like, I couldn't imagine a world of football team without Pochettino being our manager. And things started to go a bit shit, and then you're thinking, this isn't as fun as it used to be. It's like being in a relationship, isn't it? With your missus, and at the start of it, the sex is fantastic.
Yeah.
You maybe do it 3 times a day. You can't do it enough, probably.
Yeah.
You can't actually do it enough. Your knob's sore by the end of it, right? You're like, I can't do it anymore. Go on in one more time.
Yeah, I kind of enjoyed it.
But, and then after about 4 or 5 years, it's like, I suppose I should.
Looking forward to the wedding.
I can't wait.
What a woman.
So that now, and then Mourinho, new birds turn up, innit?
Yeah, I said this. So all the boys got back together yesterday. A few Christmas drinks. Saw the big dog.
No. Who? If you're watching time here, you were a fucking mess by the end of the night, talking nonsense, constantly interrupting, constantly going, well, lads, and then not saying anything. Absolute mess.
Always been a poor drunk.
When we're doing the live show,
February 10th, is it?
Yeah, February 10th. Live
it's a
show.
Monday.
Yeah, in London, in probably
Fighting Cock will go Tuesday, will it?
Yes.
On this imaginary date.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not an imaginary date. We're doing the live show on the 10th of February.
Excited. Really looking forward.
Big Dog's coming.
Big Dog will have to be there, won't he?
And Rosie Bomb, Adam.
And
the original
for the OGs. So we saw the boys there, but we were talking about. They asked you because the first time they'd all seen you, and they were like, "So Mourinho happy with it?" And you went. You had a moment. There was a moment where, and I looked at it. It looked like you've got with a girl that the rest of the boys know is a bit. She's been about a bit. She's a bit unsavoury, and you're trying to go. No. She's changed. And so you went for a second. You blinked. You did. You didn't go. Oh, it's amazing. It's brilliant. He's a great person. Blah blah blah. Because you can't say that. So you went. No, I'm in love.
That's not.
You're not in love. You're not in love. You know.
I love him, and I don't care.
This is crumbling.
I don't care what anyone has to say. I don't. What anyone has to say about him. I don't care. I don't care.
You know this is going to crumble.
I'm blind.
And with that in mind, that's always in the back of your mind. Every word that comes out your mouth about Mourinho, because you know. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. No more. More singing later in this podcast. Uiska Hammond. Don't debut comment. Don't usually comment. Maybe he has commented. Don't know. Make sure you're checking in. But when Fav, struggling with your name this week, aren't they?
Yeah.
When Fav said, watching Drunk or High, it hit a good place.
Yeah.
I'm writing this sober, but it is a ritual to come back from a night out and either pissed or stoned. Just watch the pod in the early hours of the morning, listening to it on the walk home. That's my check-in. Great pod, lads. I'd love to know where you watch the podcast.
What's the weirdest place you've watched it? That's what I want to know. What's the weirdest place? Wherever you are in the world, let us know what the weirdest place is. It may be that you're on a battleship. It may be that you're in a canoe. It may be that you're climbing a mountain. Yeah. Whatever it is, just tell us the weirdest places in the comments below.
That would be so good on top of a mountain.
Yeah, I'm on top of...
Machu Picchu. Go in. Go.
I was going to go with Ben Nevis.
Are you going to come to the top? It's home runs. Wins.
Gold. Come on.
Let us know where you listen to the podcast. That would be great. Most people are going to say commute. Don't say commute, because I can't use it.
Yeah, because that's
boring.
Yeah, that is boring.
We're going to be going through football Twitter. I basically put a tweet out. I've been so busy, I haven't even been able to look at it. But we will be talking about football in due course. But we did ask you for drunk comments, if you had any. Read a few, didn't really believe them. There was one that I did believe from RedFan72. Because the grammar's sort of like not perfect, but it's like I felt it.
Okay, look, even if he's sober and pretending, he's done a good job.
Okay. I'm drunk, but you don't seem to realise that this is all a dream. Liverpool are playing footy from another dimension, and it could bring an end to the world as we know it. Klopp is the architect, and taking the red pill is the only option. Please relax and enjoy bullet time because y'all don't know shit.
Wow. More maybe Smoking, maybe, I think.
Do you think?
Yeah, maybe.
Possibly. I wonder with this bit, is this going to be a bit where
The
idea was good?
It's hard for you to read stuff out as well, isn't it?
Because it's not in a drunk way.
Yeah, or just say I've just mainlined cocaine into my eyeballs, and I'm.
Alright, I can't read that out. Out of context, it's going to be all over.
Plus, you're promoting drug use, Jim. No, I thought better of you.
Oh no, we said drunk. Squill.
Or high.
Well, you said high. I didn't say high, just to be clear. Squill, any out of context, please add that. Squill WS, I'm wrecked and I'm thinking about sharks. That was another
It's great, mate, because basically now I don't have to find the shark news; it comes to me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just people are constantly saying, "You've seen this one? You've seen this one? Look at this one." It's great. It's honestly great because I genuinely,
you love it.
I'm autistic about sharks, right? Well, can't say that.
I don't know.
What can you say these days? What can you say these days?
What do you mean by saying I'm autistic about sharks?
Is it if
explain that? If you can explain
I'll explain it.
We'll keep it in.
If I was autistic, i.e. on the if I was autistic and on the
carry on.
Ugh.
Carry on.
I've never been so turned on in my life. If I was autistic and on the spectrum, like some autistic people are into planes or they're into buses. Okay. Mine would be sharks. Anyway, so what it's really good is I'm just getting all of this to me. Like there's a Port Beagle shark got washed up on on the coast of Great Britain somewhere. Yeah. And it looks a bit. It looks a bit like a mini great white or a short fin mako. Yeah. So it looks quite aggressive, but actually very rarely ever attacks anyone, so don't worry about it. There's only been 3 recorded attacks on sharks. On humans by a Port
This
Beagle.
is my thing, right? Yeah. This is my thing with the shark news, right? So that's not news for a start. No, that's not news.
It's just interesting.
But what would make it newsworthy if someone was like hurt or attacked? Because that's newsworthy, right? That doesn't happen, you say. So why are we still talking about it? Apart from the shark facts, we're wasting time, which is coming up later in the pod. Out of context, Bardi, TFC, from the Fighting Cock. Yeah. Just a simple quote. I think we're better off maybe going back to quotes instead of out of context. Just hold your air in.
What's that?
That was a quote from last week.
What? Say about what?
Just hold your air in.
What does that mean?
Just hold it in.
What does it mean, Jim?
They know.
Please explain, because I want to know.
They know. When it happens, I'll tell you.
The burping.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll have one today.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't feel very gassy today.
Could happen at any moment.
Look, everybody does it, mate.
I know they do.
But so what's the problem?
It's not on a podcast. But sometimes a match of the day, Gary Lineker goes, try and finish it off a loop. Sort of holds on in, and they sort of like breathes it out. Another debut comment, Ben Bagley. Rarely comment, but to be fair, that was way too much rice. I'm talking about last week. Right, now, let's get into the football. Still to come, Unbearable fans, home wins, some unwritten rules, a new bit possibly, and shark news and BDA. Good little BDA, actually, this week. Let's go to football Twitter. So if you follow me and Flav for Shark News, me for contributing to the podcast, then you can get involved. I asked you guys what we should talk about. First up, is Rashford England's future?
What do you want to talk about?
Is Rashford England's future?
Who cares? Who cares?
I care. You should care, because when it comes back round to the summer and you go, oh, Jim, we've never loved football ever as much as this. Then I'm going to be like,
give me another question.
Well, when we're in
give me another question. I don't want to talk about this.
Yes, he is England's future. He is a force to be reckoned with.
He's always been
only going to get better. He is Raheem Sterling 18 months ago.
His technique when striking the ball is absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
Honestly, he's underrated. No one talks about his technique. No one talks about his technique.
Talk about it.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Well, good.
He's like some players you watch and you're just like, it's just poetry. It's just, he's like Berbatov. It was just like washed. It was like he made love to football.
Imagine him in a good team. It'd be amazing. Like Man United, maybe they're on the road to that. You know, you've got a lot of parts
Ollie's
there,
at the wheel.
Slowly getting better. Ollie's at the wheel. McTominay's doing a bit. I do like McTominay.
Yeah, he's good. He's a good player. What the thing is with Ollie, right, Solskjaer, is this is giving him another 6 months. These 2 results.
Yeah.
Like, is he now? Is he now the good? Like, because he more than deserved that result against Man City. He demolished Spurs. He's got it. Maybe he is the man.
Can he do it against a low block? That's the big one, isn't it? Defend. If you just defend and go right, okay, break us down. Pogba's coming back, so that could be a big factor in it.
Just don't put him back in.
I think he is England's future, to answer that question.
Where does he play, though? Because he's not going to play up top, is he?
Drop Kane.
What, 27 goals in 29 games, Kane, this season? Yeah, you see the goals.
He ain't quick, is he? You don't sort of dribble with it and
I was on the kickoff and True Geordie.
I saw that snippet. You were like, that's not fair.
I didn't know how, because you know what? You know when you see your footballers, your own footballers, and you know what they are, and then most other people kind of pick it up on Match of the Day, so you don't really see much. So I understand the comment, but I didn't know how to articulate it other than just he's an all-round world-class striker. The distribution's incredible.
Yeah. The problem with Kane is that he's about numbers. He is about numbers.
What's that mean?
Like, it's about goal scoring.
What do you mean? What? Jim,
wait.
No, Jim, no.
But
why criticise him? Just enjoy him.
I'm not criticising. If you let me finish, then I'll get there.
Go on then.
Okay.
What is
kids are out from school again.
This is South London for you.
Yeah. The thing with Harry Kane is, when you think of him, you think of a goal scorer. With Rashford, you think of pace and skill and good shots, blah, blah, blah. Right? Him being a baller. Harry Kane, they go... when you think of him, you think Alan Shearer's... You think of Alan Shearer's record, right? So you think goals. So then, when he's there holding up the ball, not really dribbling much and then spraying it wide, it seems a bit boring. So then it comes down to the numbers. And then you can pick apart the numbers because a lot of those goals are for England. Doesn't mean he's not amazing.
Much more goals for Spurs.
No, he scored a lot of his goals have been for England. In this
a lot of them would suggest more than Spurs. That's not true, is it?
I don't know that.
I just want you to enjoy Harry Kane, right? You love football and love him too. There's no buts with him. He's the best striker in the world, apart from Lewandowski.
Yeah. And do you know what the other thing I would say is what you're seeing with a lot of clubs.
Yeah.
What you're seeing with a lot of clubs. Not in my house. You'll let me finish. What you're seeing with a lot of clubs, like Liverpool, for example, is that left and Spurs, that sort of left-sided forward, Arsenal as well, with Aubameyang on the left. They start there and then they make that diagonal run across. And the centre forward, for that to work, they can't be running that way. They have to sacrifice a little bit. That's why Lacazette does it. Firmino does it. That's why Leicester don't play that way. They have Harvey Barnes and Perez, so that Vardy can be the guy down there who goes towards goal. Yeah. So all of those things. The problem is, Kane isn't that type of player, but also the goals that he's scoring aren't. The problem is people are after entertainment instead of product, and therefore they pick holes at Kane. That's my point.
I mean, you lot can pick holes at Kane.
I'm not picking holes at Kane. I like Harry Kane.
It sounds like you are. So I'm just saying to you, Jim, is like, just mind your own business. You watch, what's his name, Mitchie, or what have you got up front?
Mitchie?
Yeah, what have you got up front?
Narky Wells.
Yeah, watch him.
Mitchie.
Mitchie
playing up front for us.
Adam, what's his name? Adam Mitchie? I don't know. Each to his own.
I don't know. You're picking a fight with. I don't know what you're doing. Right, next one then. Picking a fight with nothing. Baz. Anthony Joshua becoming a 2-time world champion.
2-time.
What do you think about the lyrics he spat?
First time was so nice, I had to do it twice.
Do you need to do the American accent? I thought it was a bit cringe.
The thing, yeah, it was cringeworthy, and it's not cringe, it's cringeworthy, isn't it? There's no such word.
It is a word, isn't it? Cringe is a word.
Yeah, it's a
different vibe this week.
It's a word. It's a word that describes something, right? Yeah. It's not a noun.
Yeah. But it was cringe.
Yeah, it was cringeworthy. Yeah. So
it's worthy of cringe.
It's worthy of feeling.
Aren't you just wasting time with cringeworthy? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's worthy of cringe. What did you say? It's cringe.
It's English.
Good argument. Anyway.
All right, it's cringe. Yeah, it was cringe. The problem, Muhammad Ali did it well when he used to come out.
Yeah.
But he didn't.
He did it in his own accent, though.
He did it in his own accent, and he wouldn't laugh after it.
Yeah,
his problem, Joshua's problem.
Didn't commit.
He goes, first time was so nice, I had to do it twice. Look,
I did a rhyme.
It's like at the end, you're like, fucking Joshua. Anyway, look, it's up to him because he is 2-time.
Here's a phrase that loads of people said when they were like, couldn't really articulate how well he had boxed. They just went, it was a boxing masterclass.
It was a boxing masterclass.
What constitutes a masterclass?
often it's a way of you changing nullifying the attacking threat of the fighter, especially one who's just knocked you out, and using purely boxing in order to win a fight. A lot people that don't really understand, but I was with Rory on thing, and he was going, and he held the position that a lot of casual fans and people that are just fans of Joshua and kind of watch his fights were that, well, he's got to knock him out to get revenge. He's got to knock him out like it was a beef. That isn't what this is. It's
a sport.
It's a skill.
It's almost not a fight. It's a sport, isn't it? Because you get the W, you get the W, don't you?
Right, and that was the only thing that was important.
Yeah.
And we weren't. He's shown some of that ability when he's fighting Joseph Parker before.
Yeah.
But he's just been splattered by this fat man, and and he boxed really well, but he's going to get absolutely battered.
Because you said, and I said. Privately, Ruiz, yeah.
I didn't say it privately, I said it over and over again. But that was until...
The weigh-in.
Yeah,
I thought differently with the weigh-in. As soon as I saw the weigh-in, I was like, what?
He's put on another 6...
It's
not a stone, it's about a stone and 3/4.
Wow. Was that the hat, though? But still.
I'm like, you are already massive. How have you added another 2 stone to you? And as it turned out, he didn't train.
And then he was like, I'm fat. I didn't realise. Standing in the middle of the ring, turns out I'm fat now.
I'm fat.
I had no idea. I was in the best shape of my life. You were in the best shape of your life. Yeah, I was in the best shape of my life. And I've
the thing is,
put on a stone.
Jim, right?
Where's all this come from?
What's all this?
That is
fucking
him. I don't know what the tactic was there. If there was some kind of tactic and you got it wrong, like I remember David Beckham, like when he went to Real Madrid, there was a sort of winter break. And he was like, oh, okay, right, I'll get a bit stronger. And then he lost his greatest skill was his stamina and getting about the pitch. And he made a mistake, and so he changed it, and that was it. Like with Ruiz, that if he was going for something and it didn't work, then fine. But
it just said he didn't train. That's what they said.
That's just outrageous.
Yeah, but
that's just like third fight.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
No, mate, because you're not going to say if you can't take this seriously.
It was what he did was an embarrassment to the sport. It was an utter letdown for everyone who paid for that fight, everyone who travelled to that to that country. Yeah, and it was completely unprofessional. And for him to go, I want to do it a third time. I didn't train the way I wanted to train. Like, mate,
why didn't you want to train the way you wanted?
Because he's suddenly a millionaire. That's why. His fight before Joshua, he got paid $80,000. He got $5 million for the first Joshua fight and 13 for the second Joshua fight. Wow. So, as a young man, he's suddenly got loads of money. I understand it. You've got your entire fucking life to spend that money. All you got to do is train for the next 3 months. Stop eating pizza. Yeah. Stop eating Snickers. Stop partying. You could create a legacy. Not only you win the second fight, which you could have done. If he was fit, probably I still think you would beat Joshua. All right. The next fight is worth 20 million. The next fight is. Do
you know the thing as well? What I find strange is he's like the nicest bloke in the world, right?
Yeah, he's nice. Yeah.
So why is no one in his backroom team got the balls to go? It's a third Snicker now. It's 11 o'clock in the morning. Maybe leave it.
Remember, he's the boss. He's the employee. He's the employer. He pays everybody.
I know, but like, surely someone says something.
It doesn't, mate. It doesn't. Either you're driven or you're not. And in boxing, you get shown up. You can't play that sport, right? So
has it changed your mind on Joshua in terms of the other two kind of fights?
Not all. He gets beat handily by Wilder. And
you think Wilder? I think he does Wilder. As long as he obviously needs to get away without getting one of those punches.
He ain't gonna be able to. No one.
Fury nearly did it.
Fury's like one of the best defensive boxers in the heavyweight division. He got knocked down twice. I think win every minute of that fight.
I think because that's the thing with Joshua. He's great. You know, he can scrap. He can go toe to toe. Yeah, he can go toe to toe.
Jabs. Lovely right hand.
Can Joshua beat Fury or Wilder? Let me know in the comments. I would like to know what you have to think about it.
Going into that fight, when it eventually does happen, it'll probably be 2021 maybe. Because Fury and
going on a bit, innit?
Well,
it's dragging on.
Fury and Wilder apparently have already agreed a third fight and then their second fight.
Third fight?
Yeah, so they want to do a trilogy. They're basically not interested in working with Joshua because they're pissing about basically.
What, they won't get the money? Or
they just realise that they can make a lot of money together without Joshua, whereas Joshua comes in and is suddenly the A side in both those fights.
So they can basically would want that third fight if Fury wins it though.
Fury, well, they draw the first one, so they kind of need a third, if unless it stinks the place out, which it won't do because Wilder just can finish anything.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll tell you something though. Joshua made as much money in that second fight against Ruiz as Fury did throughout his entire contract in ESPN, and more than Wilder has done in his entire career.
He's like, you only watch the fight, it's like, right, it's him wearing an apron in a Lynx advert, and it's him wearing his Under Armour, and it's him wearing his Beats headphones. It's like, he's everywhere, isn't it? It's crazy. Are there any future Ballon d'Or winners in the Premier League currently?
So once he's fucked off, basically, once Messi and Ronaldo are gone.
I found it mad that Messi won it this time. I know I'm one of his biggest fans, but I thought like that was Van Dijk's year, to be honest. I don't get it. For him to do what he done. Like, he's made such a difference to that team. I'm just trying to get it up now. I don't know if the internet's working out. But basically, like, all the other nominees, I did think about looking at that and going like, who else could be there? Like from the Premier League, could you see any of those top players? Could you see Mane doing it? If Liverpool won the league and the Champions League, and he has continued the season,
exactly one of them, wouldn't it?
I don't think.
So he
hasn't had that great season.
Not as good
as
Mane.
No, the problem you've got this season. I think the Champions League plays a huge part in it, but the Euros will play a huge part in it this year. So if you can have someone who wins the Champions League and is that key man, and then goes and does something in the Euros, then that might sort of dislodge Ronaldo and Messi. I'll be surprised if Ronaldo wins it whilst he's at Juventus. He'll only win it if they win the Champions League.
He's not doing that well either, is he? Apparently he's not. He's
certainly
stuttering. They're second in the league as well. Sorry, is he that good?
Keeps getting good jobs, doesn't he?
Yeah, maybe. Do you know what? I don't like. I find it all very the Ballon d'Or stuff.
Yeah. Should we move on?
Dull.
Yeah. Sterling being a hypocrite because of the racism thing.
What racism?
Fred, coins were thrown at Fred.
Yeah.
And he didn't sort of get involved. He sort of turned the other cheek.
What's that got to do?
And there was racist chants towards him as well.
What did you want him to do? Double foot the guy in the crowd?
I think so. I think this is interesting because I think there's a lot of labelling of Raheem Sterling and then a lot of sort of judgment about his possible personality. And I think the truth is he's not a gregarious, overly fun, great, lovely, warm personality. I get the impression that he's just a really driven, quiet guy who's not only quiet initially, he's then been stung numerous times.
Yeah.
Then he's been able to turn it around, and he was quite strong with his words before the World Cup, and I think that made a massive difference when he cut through and said, like, just show us some love.
Yeah.
That was the start of it, and then it's carried on with, teaming up his good form with him standing up for the racism against Chelsea. Yeah. But he was able to do it on his own terms, probably with the help of a bit of PR, and in an Instagram post. And then him being the sort of poster boy for battling racism from then on, they were all done in quite like comfortable, sort of closed situations. We go, okay, you're going to be talking about it here, you're going to be about there. And he's intelligent and articulate enough to do it then on his own terms. But the Chelsea game, I can't remember if he knew about it or not at the time, in that moment in time, but he didn't react at that moment in time. But then this one, there's a lot of things going into this, right? Yeah. So first of all, you're in the middle of a Manchester derby. You're losing that Manchester derby. Then you're caught in the middle when racism happens there, because you've got the Man City fans who are your fans, and to be honest, you probably don't want to get involved, rightly or wrongly. You don't want to be involved in that moment.
But it's the issue with racism in football, in terms of what Sterling talked about abroad, right, is in countries where it's not punished. Really.
Well, it's that, but also the Chelsea game the Chelsea game.
Yeah, but there's people in England, they get caught and arrested and banned for life. That we have a process that finds these people and punishes them. So we can't, if there's a system that works and it's punishing people, Sterling doesn't have to react every time there's some fucking racism.
I agree. I think the difficulty is that and it's unfair. But the difficulty is that when you do speak out, that's the problem. The media drags you into this. Every time something like that happens, then you're supposed to give a comment on it. And you're supposed to stand up for it.
But I don't understand why he's being a hypocrite.
They're suggesting he's being a hypocrite because you're going, right, racism needs to stop, it's a disgrace. I think there was an interview where there should be points deducted if your fans are caught doing this stuff because there needs to be a real punishment. I mean, I'm okay with that punishment, but I think it's
points deduction.
I think
just punish the individual, ban him from every ground, give him a kicking, whatever it is. Dot the clubs because some idiots got into the ground and done a racism.
I think what he's saying more like if it happens repeatedly again and again, then things like taking the fans away has previously not made that big of a difference.
Abroad,
you need to
here
in international games. He was talking about when he was talking about that.
Yeah. But that's not in. That's not.
But it does have to get to.
Still.
But so just to finish the first point, it does have to come to a point where what is a deterrent for associations to take this really seriously, because I don't think that's happened in international football, right?
Yeah,
so that's what he's talking about in that context, right? In terms of him being a hypocrite, they're talking about the fact that he should have run over there and got involved and stopped it. Instead, he was 5 yards away and literally turned the other cheek. But I've got no judgment towards him on doing one or the other, because if he gets involved in, he's got to get involved in every single fire.
When did he ever abroad go and start having a go at the fans? That's never happened. Well, yeah, he just afterwards said there was racism. Let's have this discussion.
And actually, in that the Bulgaria game, he dealt with the abuse, and they went through the right channels, like you're saying, and he continued to play.
I feel like, bear with me, sorry mate, if this gets your back up, but I feel like you might have an agenda here. That's what it is. If you click on it, can you just see who he supports? Is he either Everton? Where is he? Is he a Liverpool fan? He is followed by Carl Pilkington. He's fair play. Oh right, there you go. He's a Liverpool fan. Thanks for your point, full of agenda. You know when you've got agenda, right? When you've got an agenda, it really makes any point that you make really weak, because you don't really believe it. You want to make a point. You want to highlight an issue that suits your agenda, and really you're just wasting my time.
It's a discussion point that a lot of people are throwing out there. I obviously it's like provocative, and you probably don't mean it. Whatever, right?
I mean you do.
But I don't think it's helpful.
I think you're being a hypocrite as well, because your entire football club defended an actual racist.
Be careful which stones you throw.
Yeah, it's just like fucking just take your agenda.
So what I don't understand, here's a bit of criticism for Raheem Sterling, which will keep people happy. Take the phones off everyone before you have your birthday party. What are you doing?
You've seen it?
Oh, it's so good.
Men are trash, aren't they?
But that's kind of a cultural thing, the sort of the daggering thing, right?
What's Zinchenko doing?
Was that Zinchenko, the blonde guy?
Yeah, no, that's not part of his culture. And
but he's just getting involved, isn't he? He's just getting involved.
They weren't daggering, were they? She was just winding their asses up.
Sort of gently daggering, I would say.
Okay.
But yeah, just take the phones. Didn't make sense.
First shirt of the day. Final shirt is the England polo shirt.
Always goes that.
It's the only shirt I actually have ever considered buying. Didn't know because I'm not a child.
The Juventus third kit this season. Fit. Or the Roma kit this year. Kits are good this year. Actually, the World Cup, there were some good kits, wasn't there?
Yeah,
probably the most famous one would be the Nigeria one.
Yeah, well overrated. Why is everyone go mad about that? Well, it's just like a.
I like the Germany kit actually last year because it was a bit like 1990. That was decent.
Just when this is my thought pattern. You know, in Nigeria, the zigzags.
Yeah.
Right, and then that reminded me of the Arsenal kit in '91, I think, Bumblebee kit.
Yeah.
Which also reminded me of a video I watched this week, and it was an Arsenal fan on a bridge near the stadium, painting Cronky out, right, in broad daylight with a white sort of jumpsuit.
Oh, he didn't want to get paint on himself.
And a high-vis. So he's like, I'm here to work. And a fucking Arsenal hat. And this geezer just filming him going, you fucking mug. What? Can they literally get any lower?
That must be mad when you're like, this is going to do well. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to get this going online.
Just like that.
This will do just
brilliant.
fine.
I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to get my phone out and I'm going to record all of this.
Get me some followers.
Now, my biggest scumbags, just as a side note, it's not about football. The biggest scumbags are the person that shout "World Star" when they're filming shit.
Just so you know.
Those people need to fucking die in a fire. Next one.
Oh, stop doing that. Leroy! THFC. In the spirit of Father Christmas, who's the best fat brackets at the time footballers you've watched over the years?
Lee Trundle, hands down.
Really?
Yeah.
Neil Ruddock kept us up single-handedly one year.
Did he?
Yeah, he came from Liverpool and he was fat. Like, it's amazing how fat he was. And he was just unbelievable.
He was
so good. We signed Neil Ruddock and Vinnie Jones, and they kept us up proper.
Good
That's
football?
a good spine. That.
Good football.
Vinnie Jones was okay. Ruddock was amazing.
Yeah.
Ruddock was so good.
Was he
great left foot? Wasn't it?
Was he in Championship then?
He was in the Championship. Nearly went down to Division 2 at the time. So yeah, I'd go Ruddock's probably the best I've seen. Quick drink break.
Keep refreshed. Don't slap like that. It's rude next to them.
Yeah. So, Brave Takes, very quickly. There was only one Brave Take last week, so Freddie Ray Media gets to be heard. Brave Take, Martin Dubravka is in the top 5 best keepers in the league.
Good.
Best keeper in the league?
Best keeper in the league?
No.
Best keeper in the league? We don't know.
Name. All right, ready?
De Gea.
Name a goalkeeper.
Edison.
Who is the best goalkeeper?
Alisson.
Alisson. He's always injured. You can spin it now.
Sec. Hi, Mum.
Hey, Mum.
Do I want the money? Yep. I've got loads of money. Yes. Mum, I don't, whatever you prefer. If you've got an idea to buy me a night, is it socks and pants? Is that what it is? I better go, Mum. Because I'm recording. All right, love you, Mum. Bye. Love you. I've got to keep my phone on because people might be urgent.
Business, isn't it? Business.
Might be urgent.
Coming out your ears. So yeah, top goalkeeper in the world. I'm going to go with
Alisson. Neuer.
Yeah, it's probably still Alisson.
Neuer?
Nah, Neuer's shit now. Apparently.
Gazaniga?
Gazan rubbish.
Good looking, haven't he?
Good looking.
What a dream boat.
Who's the best looking footballer in the world?
Gazaniga.
Let us know. Unbearable fans. Speaking of Spurs, unbearable fans. Matthew McMahon.
Yeah.
I sit in the same seat for every Champions League game, so I have loads of different people sit next to me. Last week, I sat next to a guy who would shout, "Money!" I think that's how he's saying it. Or it could be, "Money!" I'm not sure. Whenever he got the ball, as if he was a commentator.
It's probably that, isn't it?
Probably that.
Money!
No, as a commentator.
Oh.
Money! The worst thing he'd do was whistle with his fingers right down my ear every time Napoli got the ball. Thoughts on whistling?
Wankers. You're a wanker.
Do you know what? I think there's some things that, you know, when you see a guy...
No, don't score! Don't score! Just fucking watch the game and shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Well, I don't mind whistling as long as it's not there. It's like the drum guy. Oh, the drum guy's brilliant over there.
Is that right? I didn't know I could do that. Can you do that? Alright, start doing it in football now.
This is a terrible podcast.
I can't win them all.
Cannot win all of them. It's like the drummer. You know, when you go, "Oh, the drummer, brilliant. Stay over there." Like the guy next to the drummer's like.
We used to have one at Tottenham.
Oh, drummer Jeff.
Yeah, we liked drum.
Yeah, he loved it.
We liked it, but then he basically hadn't paid for his season ticket for 11 years, and just because he had a drum, they would just let him in, and then the club found out and banned him.
Really?
Yeah, banned the drum. Yeah,
so he got 11 years out of it.
Yeah, true.
FC Billy. Funniest thing I heard at a game was, "Oi, ref, you need to go to the dentist." The crowd found it funny, but I never saw that man come back for the second half.
Oh,
that's something in football, is that you have there's certain people, and like, especially if you have a season ticket. I've had a season ticket 20 years, sure, and it's probably a bit less than that. Anyway, there are people that like they sit with you for a bit and then they go on, and you never see them again. And you think, what happened to him? We used to make up stories. There was a guy called Smokey Joe, and he's just every game was just like a mess. Just like he was like late 20s, I think, at the time. He was just always smoking, but they look around and give you a lovely smile. So there was something nice there.
So we'd smoke inside the ground?
It's when you could smoke still.
What do you think? Do you think you should be allowed to smoke inside the ground?
No.
It's open air.
No.
I'll do it anyway.
Do you?
Fucking get
Do
it.
you hold it like that? What's the coolest way to hold a cigarette?
James Dean, the way James Dean did it.
Is that what we do?
Yeah.
So, am I burning myself? Even if I am, too hard to care.
If only kids watching this, don't start smoking.
It's not cool.
Absolutely, it is cool, but don't start.
Just to be clear, it is cool.
Like when you're.
It's cooler than what's it called? Dueling or vaping?
Yeah, vaping.
That's not cool.
No, it's not
good look.
Yeah, no, but the vaping
like that's decent. Or like cigar, but like when you're going. It's not a good. It's ugly. It's like and it's like you're in fucking in like a year 6 disco. But
what I would say is vaping, like the taste. It's like tasty, isn't it? It's like the taste of strawberries or whatever you want it to taste of. That's why kids get it, and it's coming out some dangers.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, not as many as smoking. When you are younger and you smoke, girls do want to have sex with you. That's the problem, and that's what gets you. You start smoking to have sex, and then you're stuck for life.
Well, that would be great to know if you're one of our younger listeners or watchers. Does it still work?
She's looking at you, and you're gonna.
It's slow. So
some people going, I want to suck his dick.
But some people go, and they just look like idiots. Whereas some people they hold it like that. They go. So I said to him. That's it. They tell a story. They go, and I've said to him. I've said that is good. It does look cool.
Yeah, but I like.
Thing is,
don't have a pull of your cigarette. Tell me the fucking story and then have a pull of your cigarette.
No, he's got to look and work the crowd.
So I grabbed him by the fucking throat.
Okay, hang on. How many different ways are there of smoking? So there's that. There's that.
Yeah.
What else is it? Well, some people do that, don't they?
Like that.
Some people do that one, don't they?
I wish I'd never started, honestly.
But it is cool.
I cannot kick it. I cannot kick it.
You said on this podcast less than a month ago. You said I'm going off it.
That was a couple of days, and it just drags you back in. You can't. Yeah, don't start, kids. It's bad.
Okay.
Bad.
Adam Sullivan, Unbearable fans. The guy next to me brings a pasty from home every week.
That's all right.
Do you know? There's a guy, lovely man. He sits a couple down from me, and every so often. You should be ready watching the games about to start, and then you see an arm go like that. Fruit pastels.
Oh. What is this?
Sweets guy. He goes, and he's like that. He's made a real effort to go. Do you want one? Let's be friends. And I love it.
That is nice.
He's such a nice bloke. And also when there's certain people you just give the nod. There's certain people that you don't even like acknowledge anymore, just because it never happened. You had a window. It's too late.
Yeah, it's way too late.
It's too late now. Yeah. There's a guy who sits in front of me who I've got nothing against him. I reckon he probably thinks I'm a bit annoying, but I get on quite well with the guy who he goes with.
Yeah.
We have never spoken. Ever spoken.
That's so funny.
I'm almost scared to say it because Adam. I'm going to say it now.
Does he watch this?
I don't think he does, but if you do. Introduce me to your mate. It's been 15 years.
Well, and you've never said a word to him.
I never said a word.
But you and Adam will always have a chat.
Yeah, because he's right in front of me and he's big. So like when we score, I can kind of grab him. And that's the other problem is like when someone's in front of you, when you say stuff, they do hear it. Cool. It's like I always hear like the guys behind me.
Yeah.
So you then sort of have a bit of a conversation. But the other guy, like, he likes to keep to himself. He's not bothered, and I'm fine with that. I totally respect that. But it's too late now.
Do you even acknowledge each other?
No. It's mad. It is mad.
Mate, I get it completely. I
so
absolutely
weird.
get it. I've had that. I've had that as well.
I spent so much time together. Literally at the back of his head for 15 years. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, the sweets guy. What a dream. And then when he shakes your hand, he goes like this, right? And he goes, oh, he's great. Love him.
Yeah.
Not unbearable. What's the opposite of unbearable fans?
Lovely.
Dream fans. Get your dream fans in. Unwritten rules. Here's a new bit. Could work, probably won't. Valar Vormagulis. Modern era, sticking with your manager. Sean Dyche at Burnley. Got relegated. They stuck with him. Got them back up. Qualified for Europa League. Struggled during the Europa season. And now they're back playing good again. Although they are on a bad run. Just to be clear. Once a team... Basically saying stick with the manager. But once a team... sack a manager twice in a season, that's almost guaranteed that they'll go down. Is that an unwritten rule of football?
When does it happen?
Fulham, Swansea.
If you sack two managers,
If you sack two managers, the manager ain't the problem. You will go down.
The manager ain't the problem, is it? Might be part of the problem.
Yeah. Is that an unwritten rule? I'd like other unwritten rules.
Yeah. That's pretty good. Oh, yeah. Forgot about this. Please tell me you charge a drill.
No.
Fucking hell, what kind of DIY guy are you?
I've got a lot going on at the moment. Really busy guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, shit. God. A bit tight this week. I've never, ever
used that drill.
Had so many entries for a bit than we have with home wins. I've never seen anything like
it's like a throwaway idea.
It's amazing. It's a book. You can make a book. I could easily make a book. And you know when those little ones that you just have in the toilet?
You do that and you can keep all the money you make from it.
Okay. A bit of philosophy early doors. And actually, I can, just in case we are still in vision, if we're not, then become a patron for $3. It's nothing. It's less than a pint. It's less than half a pint, probably.
Why don't you, for Christmas, just not have the thing on there? Just give them a little Christmas present.
Why don't you give me a Christmas present and give me $10 to listen to me and Flav talk drivel?
$10.
That's for the Sky. One weekly Sky. Home wins, right? First of all, so here's the announcement.
Cold in here.
Here's the announcement. So first of all, let me read this comment. Lights will guide you home, but not if the bulbs are blown. So I will try to fix them. It's okay, isn't it? But it's not park life, is it?
No, it's not.
Well, let me just scroll down a bit.
What?
Because what I will read is this from our boy. I think it's McSlash. McSlash, yeah.
McSlash?
Is that it? It is McSlash, I think.
I've never heard of McSlash.
The guy, how dare you? The guy who wrote Fix You, fact you.
Oh, is his name McSlash?
So we asked, I want Park Life to Home Wins. I couldn't help it, lads. Home Wins and Park Life was a project I couldn't refuse. I had to cease work on my other project, writing lyrics themed around Pochettino's neglect of Tottenham's youth system to the tune of Foster the People's song Pumped Up Kicks. I've titled it Bummed Up Kids. Anyway, here's my take on the Home Wins song. It was a lot harder to write and is going to require some extra effort from the performers, should it be performed. So, as a Christmas present, next week, I'm going to send this to you and you need to practice, okay? We will be singing Park Life Home Wins version. It's awesome. I can't wait.
Can you actually send it to me? Because I'm not. I'll fuck that up massively.
It's fine.
It's the work
but
has been done.
It's so good.
I didn't know about
so
that.
next week.
That
next
is a
week.
surprise.
Next week to Park Life.
How about this?
Here's your Christmas present. I'm going to give you.
How about this, Jim?
Go on.
We do it, but we stick it behind the paywall so none of them can see it unless they pay.
But I will lose all ad revenue to the video, like the last one, because I use copyrighted music. So, you know.
Did you?
Yeah. It's copyrighted, yeah.
You lost it all, did you?
Yeah, I lost it all.
Well, how much was that?
But it was worth it.
How much was that?
All
of
I don't know. It's
£3?
a lot more than that.
Really?
Yeah.
How much?
None of your business.
It's my business, isn't it?
Calm down.
That's me.
Right, let's get into Home Wins. Take that one.
Smashing some
Take
bastards'
that
head in.
one.
It's me smashing some bastards' head in.
Right. Right. Hang on. Hang on. Do you want one?
Come on, you cunt. What? Fucking drilling in here tonight. Yes, please.
Would you like an imaginary cigarette?
Yes, please. Not lighter.
A bit like that. Right. Hang on. I feel I would like that. Owen Taylor. I wins.
You gotta go first, isn't it?
Right. It's right. Oh, sorry. Actually, I'm gonna get. Wait, let me go reverse. I'm gonna take the Cockney accent away for a second because Owen Taylor, this philosophy, and I thought it was good. #Home Wins has probably done more to destroy hegemonic masculinity through its tongue-in-cheek criticism of how idealised masculinity is viewed as a provider and a problem solver. It's more value to be seen as this than to actually be this. A home win isn't a home win if you're actually good at fixing a sink. It's only a home win if you can wear the facade of being able to.
Exactly, Owen.
Superb, Owen Taylor.
Absolutely superb. That's a win.
You getting it is a win on its own. Right, let's go. Charlie Wong. Wongy.
It's alright.
Just surname with a Y, it's fine. Right, so for the last, say, 6 months, the eating in the upstairs. Oh, hang on, hashtag soldiers lost in home wins. Right, so the first, so for fuck's sake. So for the last, say, 6 months, the eating in the upstairs of the house hasn't been working properly. Now we're getting to winter. My dad thought he'd finally get someone to fix the eating. The guy comes round, brackets, he was actually a Cockney, so I trusted him. And all he did was turn a screw of sorts on all the upstairs radiators and bosh, they were working. I had 6 months of cold in my room where I could have just turned a fucking screw and been king of my ass. Sometimes you do need a professional. So give me a bell.
Jim,
Give me my number.
I had a home win just here, didn't I?
Really? Just here?
Just a minute.
Yeah. It was amazing. Our radiators don't work, and he just turned it on.
Yeah, what I did,
Genius.
right?
Sorry.
What I did.
Don't give it away.
I went up there. I just pushed the switch that said on, and heat came out of it, Jim.
Couldn't believe it.
It's like,
Have you got like a degree in this or something? Hashtag home wins. Archie Keane.
seriously though, what did you think it just didn't work?
I think it maybe it's like got a dust in the combobulator for you. So, right, Archie Keane. Hashtag home win, but at work, does it count?
Yeah.
You tell me, he says. And he just did. Right, this is a belter, right? We've all been there in the office, right? New printer has been installed in the office at work. One of the old dears goes to print something off on said printer. Absolute carnage follows when it appears the new printer ain't working. As the only bloke in the office, I took it upon myself to have a look at the old thing. I press one button and it becomes apparent I've sorted the issue. I couldn't leave it at that, or it would have been too clear it was a simple fix. So I carried on mucking about with a paper tray, pressing the menu and back button repeatedly to give the impression that I knew what I was doing. After a few minutes, I turned around and said, "It's not good." And I think as I read this, I winked. Because he went, after a few minutes, I turned around and I said, "Give it a try now." Limbs in the office when an A4 sheet comes out perfectly and printing is possible once again.
Limbs in the office. You've got a proper limsy in the office.
And that is your home wins for
Mate, that was superb. See, that is a perfect home win because he knew he was bluffing. He was upselling.
Upselling, yeah. That is it, isn't it?
And that's what it's all about.
That's what life's about.
Because none of us are really that manly.
No.
And pretending to be... Look, the society has created a concept of what is a real man, and it's very toxic. And most of you, we know you're like us. We're not, really. What is a real man? Someone that can fix shit at home. There are a couple about. My dad's one of them.
Yeah.
But, can he spell?
Absolutely not.
No. Can he write in anything but block capitals?
No way.
No, he cannot. So, he's the...
He's a bloody good bloke. And it's about, making things work. Can you make the world work for you? And that's what home is about. On your terms. Okay?
Okay.
Right. Shark News. What an article. What an article this has been for us. Don't even have to think about it. Every week on the rundown, there it is. Bosh. We move on to, I think we're on number 14.
No, we're not.
No.
Oh.
15? 16?
Yeah, 17, I think.
Whoa. Well, you would have heard this from the lyrics from Shark Fact You. 16 of 81 facts on sharks. Sharks do not have a single bone in their body.
Cartilage. 16. Do 17.
The most bizarre feeding technique of all sharks is that of the cookie cutter.
True.
Brackets, cigar and luminous.
Yeah.
Shark.
It eats... It takes like circular chunks out of things. Yeah.
Mad. It attaches its mouth onto its victim and carves out a hunk of flesh. You like it, something like that. A hunk of flesh, leaving a distinctive circular wound in its prey. Prey. Do you like prey, do you? Wound. Love stuff like that. Weirdo.
Why?
Like a pastry cutter. Its body has a series of holes called photophores that glow in the dark water. In fact, its scientific genus name is Isistus, from Isis, the Egyptian goddess of light.
Do another one. Why do you think there's some sort of sexual thing about it?
It's something sexual. So you're like that with horror films as well. The grey reef shark, brackets Carchaenus amberinchos, has been called the gangster shark because of its highly aggressive nature.
All right. Didn't know that one.
Oh, I might Google that later. Fucking weird, eh? Right, BDA.
You're being quite horrible, Jim.
Sorry. You're allowed to like whatever you want to like, but I'm also allowed to take the mick out of it.
I think less of you that you can't.
I don't get it, do I?
Yeah, that you don't get sharks. It's like they're monsters. They're real life monsters.
Rock stars of the sea.
They are the rock stars of the sea.
Yeah.
They are the apex predator on planet.
Damn.
Nothing eats a great white apart from another great white. Actually, that's not true.
Depends where they are.
Orcas are the apex predators.
Pick up a shark, plonk it on the on the desert or whatever. Get eaten by loads of things.
Yeah, but a lion filling in the sea, it'd be pretty fucked, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Stars and fights. We'll finish off with some BDA. Alright lads, need some BDA, and this one is a little personal, so don't use my name please.
What's his name?
I'll tell you after.
I just need to know.
So I've got a sure thing on Saturday planned.
Yeah!
Hotel booked and all. But I have a problem. That whenever I'm getting with a girl, Little Johnson cannot be controlled, if you catch my vibe.
He comes too soon.
I think so, yeah. This can lead to some weird situations because we can never just be lying there cuddling or whatever.
Oh,
and up he goes.
Boner. I see.
What advice do you have for this situation in withholding my erection? Maybe there is a training regime I should be on.
So he's in a situation basically where there's nothing sexual going on. They're just chilling out, and he gets a boner straight away. They could be like just cuddling boner. It's that thing, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah,
That is it.
Yeah, or like
everyone's there like that at the start.
Or like you watching a film. Never are you? You never watch a film.
You do after a few years.
If you come into that's true. Peaky Blinders becomes in here. 5 series. Nah, still on 3 series. But anyway. But when they then come in, you're like, oh my god, that's not 2, sorry. You think you're like, something's happening here, and then they put their hand there, and you're like, oh my god, like stuff's gonna go down, like something could happen.
I'm gonna have sex.
Yeah, or like humping.
And then what? You try humping. There's a lot of dry.
That's so weird, isn't it?
Well, when you're a kid, there's a lot of dry humping.
Dry humping is like,
it's because you're not
gets
ready.
the job done, but it's safe.
Yeah, you're not ready to have sex at that point, mate.
Yeah, it's almost wholesome. For such a strange act, it's quite wholesome.
Look, why don't you? If she's coming around, you booked a hotel. She knows what's going on. You know what's going on. A boner is exactly what you need.
I think this is really easy. There's really easy practical advice here.
What's that?
Put it in your waistband. Early doors.
You can still see it.
Early doors. No, you'll be fine.
You could tape it down. So you put tape.
Watch your film on your phone.
You could right. What you need to do. Right, listen to this. Is good advice. Right, you know Gorilla Tape. You know, like Gorilla Glue.
Yeah, Gorilla Glue it.
Yeah, you Gorilla Tape.
Gorilla Glue it down.
No. Put it from the tape from the end of your cock down to the bell end, right, and then bring the tape under your gooch, and then tape it to your arsehole. Then you can't go up, can it? So it just seemed like
God, it's happening again.
And then when you're ready to have sex, you go into the toilet and you grab the Gorilla Tape.
Oh wow!
and you just pull it off your cock really slowly. But you're gonna lose hair in that. But at least you'll have the erection. I remember a time where I would get a boner from getting on a bus. The vibrations of the bus. Yeah. It's great. You'd sit on the wheel and you in
the right setting.
In a way, it was great. Yeah, it was
then it's your stop.
What are we gonna do?
Waistband it.
Yeah, now it's like, the older you get, the buses don't do it anymore.
It does happen less. Yeah, that's true. I would say to you, maybe tighter briefs. I think the waistband thing is the obvious thing. Get out there early.
I don't think so.
Get out there. Do you know as well? Because people wear their jeans quite low these days. Just have it quite low and get it pinned back.
Don't worry about it. It's just a boner, man. She wants you to have a boner. What are you gonna do?
Once you're starting stuff, you're fine. Also, if you've got jeans on, this is like, I think if you've got jeans on and you have them kind of low waisted and you pin it back, I think you're fine.
Yeah, like, and if you get like a semi, it just looks like you've got a big cock.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like what his worry is that he doesn't want to seem eager, does he? He doesn't want to seem like
yeah.
That's that he wants to play it cool.
And
he wants to play it cool, but his cock won't let him.
But if you spin it around and you go, you try and make that a cool thing, you look creepy as hell. Don't you? You go,
hey.
Didn't see that. Yeah. Didn't think there was 3 of us here. Something like that.
Yeah, say something really cool like that.
Yeah, that's the show.
Yeah. Little Flav's showing up.
Or just put your left arm there. I think there's routes around it.
I don't think like, as long as you're not constantly walking around with a boner, like that's a bit weird. Like it's like you just
wear briefs, don't wear boxers.
You turn up at the door and you just got a massive hard on.
Or she opens the door and you go, hi Timmy, and you go, hi.
Yeah, that's not cool. That's not cool.
Yeah, you're fine, mate. You know what to do. You know what to do. You're okay. You're okay. And it's good. That's good that it's there, ready to go. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's your lot.
You won't always be able to do that. So.
That's your lot for another podcast. Hope you enjoy it. We'll be singing Park Live. Or Home Wins. So that's Home Wins. Yeah, next week. So get involved. Any last words you want to say? Anything?